And then there's a trail right over there. So we got a cornfield across the road over there, we got corn over there, and this is kind of like primo bedding all around us. So this is probably going to be a morning spot. We're going to get in here when the deer aren't here, and then we're going to sit, and the deer should be passing around. From the time a fawn is born, the first priority is to stick close to its mother. Each day that fawn grows stronger, learns and adapts. As confidence and independence builds, the doe gives it more latitude. But in the daily, subtle interactions and nuances, the young one is ceaselessly being trained to one day survive on its own.
My head looks like an egg.
We'll put you can sit on this side.
Okay.
I should have my buck grunt. I'm pretty well ill prepared, but you know what it's like doing stuff with Dad. You get about 50% of the stuff you need, and then you just give her, right? Mm-hmm. Let's do it.
Buddy Jim sent me a picture of that bear is still alive. Figuring that might be an 11-footer. Telling Charlie maybe someday I'll guide her on a big brown bear. Maybe someday I would, if he steps out, I'm shooting that one. I ain't gonna let you shoot that one. That's one I would shoot. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Yeah. That's a beast. Kind of just tell how the wind quit, everything's quiet. So it's about 40 minutes left that we can shoot. And so it's kind of like everything in nature, like the deer, they all know that, because now is when they're going to be more confident to get up on their feet, because they know as they feed, as soon as they stop, they'll be able to hear anything. But in the middle of the day, when the sun is heating the earth, it creates wind. And so that wind rustles the leaves, so they can't hear so well. They can't detect something moving like a predator, like a coyote or a bear. So now we have to be very quiet, but now is when they're probably going to be up on their feet, starting to move.
Have you ever seen a coyote chase after a deer? Here.
Yeah, in the winter time, yeah.
I've never seen it.
If you see a coyote, shoot it.
Is that a dog?
It's a little fawn, a little button buck.
No.
Well, bow hunting is a lot different than rifle hunting when you gotta get them in 25 yards. Gotta
Well, I don't think that tree's gonna mount to anything. That thing's 20 years old,
Dad,
and that's all we got.
Dad, can I jump
I can see how it'd be addicting. You just want to keep cutting.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. So, I'll give Mom, give you a shot. Can you try before? Okay.
I suck.
So you almost want to be shooting that. Okay. So now you got one loaded. So now you close that. Now you fill the magazine.
Pull.
Were you on
I
safety?
was on safety.
There you go.
Pull. Son of a biscuit.
Quick one. Hey, nice one! For duck hunting, you gotta nice. Woo, that was kind of a trick one. Nice, Charlie.
Pull.
Tally ho.
Red tie. This hat looks huge.
There's one coming. That's a good one.
When that doe was coming in, she just came running. It would happen so fast because we didn't see like anything that day. And so it was like exciting, but also nerve-wracking. And it's like, oh no, now I actually have to like shoot it.
Get on her. You laced her.
Shut up.
Yeah, you got her.
Okay, good.
She's gonna drop. She's gonna tip over right there.
Okay, good.
It was just a hair far back, but you hit lungs, I'm sure.
I got so kind of scared. After I shot, I realized my shot was a little far back. I was thinking in my head like, that was not a good shot, and I got nervous and almost like sad, like, oh, you know, and so I was also excited, but then I kind of switched and I got a little sad and like nervous and kind of disappointed.
That happened so fast. I'm sorry. I don't even think I aimed. I know I did, but I don't really think I like paid much attention. Cause when you hollered at her, I'm like, oh God, I have to go.
She was perfectly broadside, yeah. That's one thing. You made a good hit. I'm 99.9% sure that if she's not dead already, she's gonna die. But that's one thing you always want to do is just take that like extra split second. Like, okay, am I on her? Yep, I'm definitely on her. Boom.
Yeah, I didn't really do that.
Well, but it was a perfect shot. She was perfectly broadside.
But I also got kind of nervous when you like made a sound,
Yeah.
so it would stop,
Yeah.
and then it looked at us. I'm like, oh, it's gonna get scared.
Yeah.
So I kind of felt like rushed.
Yeah. But it started to run, and like I said, I knew you were going to have to reposition. If it took 2 more steps, you were going to have to reposition everything, and yeah. I was telling Chris tonight, I said, you know, I don't even know if I really want her to get a deer the next day or two, because it's like, we still have a lot to learn, you know what I mean? But, yeah, you did good. You're getting pretty lucky with the deer just kind of like running right in, so you don't have a chance to get too nervous. It's when they hold out, they're kind of like working in, and especially you get a buck. Yeah,
Yeah, you definitely clipped it in the lungs. There's good blood here. There's good blood on it.
I don't want to get that.
Yeah, you want to see them coated with blood. That blood all the way up and down. And if you smell guts, like you don't want to smell guts.
What does it smell like? Guts.
It does. Yeah.
Mix.
Nah, I don't know. I think it might be a mix. But definitely we had enough blood up here where I know it's dead. It was the fact that we saw it go down, but it's a little far back. I wouldn't be surprised if you caught a little bit of guts, but I think we definitely got this deer. Right here's where she came. So it's kind of darker blood. I'm guessing you hit some lung, but you also hit some, probably an artery. I gotta believe you got some lung, but there's some darker blood here. Yeah, and all this. Good blood. But it's amazing. It's amazing she lived as long as she did.
He's like never doctor.
Yeah, we could see that she was moving a little bit in here. We just gave her, probably took what, about 15 minutes, but that's pretty fast in the grand scheme of things if you consider what it's like for a deer to die of a coyote eating it.
Thankfully, she died pretty quick, but I also felt bad just watching her like slowly die. She was like suffering for a while, which that was like not really exciting for me to watch. It for sure like made me like make sure I really know I'm confident in my shot, I'm ready, and just gotta pull the trigger really slow and just take a deep breath and pick a hair. That's what my dad always says. So now that's like actually like going through my brain every single time I'm about to shoot. So hopefully that never happens again, because it was not really that much fun to witness and watch.
Good job. That was fast. I think that's a yearling doe. That's perfect. That'll be good eating. October 20th. Your first archery deer. The moon's coming up. Yeah. What do you think?
Awesome.
Yeah. What did you expect or didn't you expect?
It happened so fast. That's what I did not expect. And it was so close.
Yeah. And then you learned that you kind of get like almost excited, fearful, because I almost think it's like a little bit, you kind of want to get the shot over with. I feel you kind of get buck fever, right? And you want to just try to learn to calm that, take an extra second, and just take your time on that aim. But yeah, it was probably just a hair back, definitely a little farther back than you want, but yeah, the deer didn't go far. We watched her bed down, and we could see her and hear her just a little bit. And so, but what, probably took 15 minutes after you shot. So, well, that's kind of cool to get one under your belt, learn a little bit. Your second time out hunting, and we got one already. So now I think we kind of just focus and maybe go out and try to get a buck. What do you think?
Like
Cool.
archery?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, might as well if we see a nice one. And maybe take Frankie, try to get a doe for Frankie. That'd be cool. So, well, way to go, Bubba. I'm having fun because we're learning. This hunting deer out of ground blinds is all new for me, so it's a little different. But I'm liking it, Bubba. You did good.
Yes.
Thank you, Lord. It's pretty humbling, you know. You kind of watch that deer go off and you take its life, and you know, it's humbling. And when you do this and you recognize where this life comes from, that when you take that, I don't know, for me, particularly as I get older, I just recognize that, yeah, we want to utilize every bit of this that we can, use this meat, and yeah, because it's a pretty humbling thing to take an animal's life, take something from nature, and I don't think it should be taken too lightly, you know. I think they're here for us to do just that, but yeah, praise the Lord that we're able to do that, and we're here to manage them and take a few every year, take what we need and not more than what we don't. And this is a perfect deer, one without a fawn. So excellent, Bubba. Did you have fun?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah? So you think you see a buck, you're gonna get buck fever?
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's pretty fun. All right, well, I think we'll grab the four-wheeler, take her right on home. Yeah?
It's gonna be like pitch black.
Yeah, it'll probably be dark. Come back here with headlights, we know the way.
Why do I feel like in the winter their heads get bigger?
Well, their hair gets thicker, and and it all gets kind of puffy, and then I think it kind of stands on end a little bit more. It gets fuller, kind of like, remember Dash in the wintertime would always get fuller? Yeah, they're just starting to get their winter fall coat on them now.
Yeah.
I love it, Bubba. All right, good job, Bubba. Okay, that's a beautiful night, beautiful thing. This seemed to work pretty good last time. All right, so I'm gonna hoist you these, and you just keep them up.
I just grab these. What? How was it talking?
Shooting my first doe was obviously nerve-wracking, and knowing that was a good step to start to shoot a buck, but I still was nervous, like shooting a deer with antlers, like that to me was so intimidating. But at the same time, like, it's just a deer with just antlers, it's the same animal, but it still was a little more nerve-wracking than shooting a doe. But I think it was a good starting point to start with a doe first, then a buck. It definitely built my confidence.
This is water, not coffee.
All right, Bubba. You reckon you're ready? You got enough clothes? You need a puffy. Do you have a down vest? You need a little.
I have two jackets on.
Yep, wear a down vest though. And then put them in that deal, and you're gonna be styling and profiling. Do you have your gator, your little neck thing?
No.
You want that?
I pulled it.
Yeah, slide that thing over your neck. Because it's something like 70-some% of your heat escapes from your head, like 10% of your wrists, then your neck, and then your core. You keep them warm and you're good to go.
It's a little buck, I think. wonder if he heard the grunting, because he's coming right to it. Does he have antlers?
My dad told me I could shoot like any buck because it would be my first buck. So he said everyone's gonna start off with shooting a little spike or a fork, and my dad said at your age it doesn't really matter. But I just like almost felt almost like guiltiness of shooting a little buck. I wanted to make sure it was like big enough and like matured, and so I just didn't really feel like the want and need to shoot a little buck, so I kind of was holding out for a bigger one.
Now, the wind is blowing this way. So if a big buck walks in like that, you know you don't want him to get to that point, because he's gonna dang sure smell us and bolt like that little buck did, right? Or if a buck comes down that way and he's coming this way, you gotta try to get a shot back to the left, because as soon as he walks that direction, he's gonna cross our scent and he's gonna be gone. Those are Charli Molls' signature series hunting boots and stockings.
My dad is way too cheap to buy me good boots. I was wearing these like winter boots I would wear to school, and I just remember I just did not like having my feet getting cold. I would want to leave the stand early because my toes felt like they were gonna fall off, and my dad's like, well, I guess we're going to get you some more new boots so we can actually hunt without me complaining because my toes felt like they were gonna get frostbite and fall off.
So there's this idea that if you have two people, there's twice as much noise and movement and scent, right? And then if you have three people, it's 3 times the movement, noise, and scent. It is 3 times. 3 people would be 3 times the scent, but it's like 10 times the noise and the movement, because we're talking a lot, aren't we? Like if we're like serious big buck hunters, we're just like this, you know. But this is a lot of the fun. It's just jibber jabbering. 20 years ago, I never would have done this. I'd have been like, but now it's like, I don't know. You do that, and then you shoot a couple big bucks, and then you're like, man, but I kind of miss the conversation and the fun, you know, especially doing it with you. Because you're not all that interesting on your own, so we've got to joke around and make it funny.
My toes are frozen.
Well, if we stay here like another hour, the sun will come up, heat this thing, and it'll be like a little oven. So if you can tough it up for 1 more hour.
You're joking. You're joking. Are you joking? 1 more hour.
Kinda, yeah.
I can't.
The big bucks, they like to move like 10 o'clock. Listen to that.
If I can take my shoes off and put my
That definitely made the experience less enjoyable with having freezing cold feet. So I knew by the time when winter came for rifle season, I needed new boots. So thankfully, my dad went and go buy me some new boots, so my toes weren't that cold.
What did you like about hunting in the morning versus the evening, or what was different?
I like in the morning, it gets brighter instead of darker. Because then it's easy to see.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're waking up with nature, like the geese, and there's like a timing of things. The little Tweety birds start tweeting, and then you know, that deer coming crunching on the grass and the leaves. And then now the geese, they start tooting. You know, you can kind of tell they're waking up, and then they just flew off. So now they went somewhere to eat. So they went and landed in a field. There's some more. And they take off and go land and eat for the day. Then they come back.
Let's go. My toes are literally gonna fall off.
They're literally going to fall out.
For the archery season, I was looking for a good mature buck because I knew I didn't really want to shoot like a young one that had potential of becoming a good buck.
Honestly, I was just looking for something that had like more than like 2 points. No, I wanted like a good 6-pointer or more.
Yeah, for her first ever deer, that would be a good first deer, I think.
And I was also looking for a doe. Like, it could be like any doe, because I'm not.
But not with kids.
Oh,
that was
kids? Not with any fawns though.
Same thing.
Yeah.
You're gonna bring a book?
Yeah.
You nerd.
Well, I need my air points because I only have 2 days.
Grades aren't then. Big bucks are
I
more
have straight
important than
A's,
grades.
though. You
Don't be
should-
reading a book
actually-
while you're hunting. I guarantee you, Milo Hansen was not a straight A student.
Huh?
You don't kill big bucks reading books. If you want to be a librarian, you might as well move out now.
Shut it.
Tell me something, Frankie. At the end of days, who's going to be the last woman standing? The one who's read the most books, or the one who's killed the most deer? What skill is going to serve you best?
Reading.
I doubt it. Unless it's like reading about...
Well, like, what if you're reading about, like, I don't know.
Like bushcraft or surviving in the wilderness?
Yeah, you could read about that and you could learn. Like, you could learn in a book, you know?
Yeah,
Like a survival book.
But reading about something and applying it are like two different things. That's like the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is something you can acquire by reading, but wisdom only comes by applying it. So we're applying real world application by trying to shoot a deer.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I am too.
Wait,
I'm
so what am I
excited for
going
you.
for, really?
You can bring a book if you want. You can, well, we'll shoot a big buck for
We're gonna
sure,
bring
but
it in
if
the
you get a good shot at a doe and you're right on it, you know you can kill it, go right ahead.
Alright. Charlie's doe was really good last year.
Yeah, well, does are generally better eating for sure. So we see a lone doe. Let's do it.
Sure.
You excited?
Yeah.
Nervous?
Not really. I don't know why, I'm just not. Just like, chill, you know?
I would say we have just as good a chance of seeing a buck tonight where we're going as we do a doe.
So, like, where are we going? Like, is it by the pond, kind of?
Nope.
Or is it, like, far down?
We're going to be hunting what's called a bottleneck or a pinch point. It's where the woods narrows down and we're right on the edge of a field, so bucks will be cruising and maybe deer will be coming out to eat, but we'll probably, I would say it's more likely if we see a deer it's going to be a buck, or if it is a doe there's probably going to be a buck following it. We're going to be hunting a travel corridor where the deer are going to be narrowed down. But we'll be right on the edge of a cornfield. Should be a good spot.
Is that where you set up trail cameras?
Yep, we got one there.
Oh, okay. Wait, did you see anything there? Wasn't there a buck, or am I just, like, thinking of something else?
Yeah, well, there wasn't one real regularly, but this one is a good travel spot for bucks to come from a lot of different places. With the rut going on right now, there could be bucks coming from all over the place.
I love bow hunting because I don't really like shooting guns because they're too loud and I don't like that. So I like the bows because obviously they're quiet. And I just like seeing all the wildlife there, like the deer. And it's nice that I get to go on my grandpa's old land, or my great-grandpa's old land, which that's really cool. And if you like come along coyotes or like wolves, I haven't really seen any, but I've heard that they're in there, you know. So I'm always excited to try to see if I can find them or whatnot.
Here he comes. Get ready. Get your bow ready. Shh. Quiet. Your hat's out backwards.
So what is it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, I'm too cold to fix it, so I guess it's staying.
What'd you think?
It was fun, even though we didn't see anything. The waiting around wasn't the best. It was freezing.
One day, I think you'll realize that is the best. Especially, like, even being alone, but especially like being together, kind of joking around,
Yeah.
no distraction. And I think the best part about hunting here, right by Grandma's house, is going to eat pork loin, mashed potatoes, and gravy now
Oh,
that
yeah.
we're done. So, I bet you probably, every time you told Grandma, hey, I'm gonna be hunting by your house, she'll probably say, okay, stop by for something to eat when you're done.
Yeah. Grandma's meals are the best.
Yeah.
She's a really good cooker and baker.
I had fun, and she loves to have you as her little apprentice, and I love to have you as my apprentice. We'll get it done sooner or later. See, what did you learn today?
To like before you like get ready to hunt, like to adjust your stand thing so it's not a big hassle to try to move it, and then the deer doesn't see that movement. And then other than that, I don't think anything else.
You learned that neither one of us is very good with a grunt call, apparently. Nothing came in. No, but you're gonna learn a little bit each time, and that's what makes it fun. Like, I wouldn't say that I didn't want a big buck to come in that first time, but probably for the best that it did it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're gonna learn a lot. Every time you go out, you're gonna learn something. I guarantee it. It's gonna be fun. Let's get in. It's cold. Let's go to Grandma's and eat something.
I love hunting at my grandma's new house because after it, I love when I'm all cold and I get to go in her house and we get to chat, and sometimes we go and eat there. She has really good food. And I think that's really fun, just hunting by there, because it's nice to just go in the warm house. Except her house is usually at like 66. It's so cold in her house. But we won't put that in.
We might. All right. Will that work? Wear a pair of socks. I think you'll be okay with just your buff.
Yeah, I probably.
Oh, you look adorable.
haven't seen you for a while.
It's been some time. Cameras are rolling already. What's up?
Nothing much.
How was school?
It was so bad.
As always.
Why?
Because you have to learn.
Oh, we maybe should have cleaned up before we let them come in. I got toilet paper sitting right there.
Everyone needs toilet paper.
I guess.
Could spend the whole day just picking up after my kids, but I decided against it. Oh, and then I have a hole in my sock.
Jeremiah, you're busting me.
The strings for the bow. Gosh, we're so freaking scattered. The cocking mechanism.
I don't know where it is. Wait, where are we even going?
Fur farm.
Wait, are we going Charlie's stand?
Yeah.
Her stand is really good luck. I don't know why it just does.
You excited, Frankie?
Yeah, I'm actually really excited. Okay, you need to buckle up because I'm not going to listen to that.
Yes, ma'am.
Preach. If I'm seeing that 10 point, I'm shooting it. That 10.1 that's been walking around?
You think so? You'd shoot him?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess so. Let's do it! We're here for the adventure. That's kind of coming up with a new tagline. What's that saying? Like, we're here for the party?
What?
You ever heard that? We're here for the party?
No.
We're here for the adventure. This is an adventure.
Is there a duck in there?
We're here to see what happens. We're here to obviously shoot a deer, but ultimately we're here for more than just shooting a deer. We're here for the Treestand Talk. We're here, we're going to be making the greatest memories of your life tonight.
How do you know?
You're hanging out with the coolest guy in the world.
I am. Oh, not you.
Jeremiah?
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't talking about you.
Frankie is going to be a good cook because she can definitely roast. All right, you're carrying the chair.
It's so weird seeing you.
The coolest guy in the world right there.
No one's ever told me that before. That's a first.
It's funny. Your kids think I'm cool. My kids think you're cool. Funny how that works out. I said, hey, which one of you guys wants to go hunting tomorrow night? Charlie's like, man, I don't want to. Frank's like, I don't want to. I said, Jeremiah's coming. And they both said, I will. I don't know why you like him, Frankie.
I don't know why you don't.
I remember it was really fun because we were not quiet at all that day. So I remember me and my dad, we had this what are those called? Hand warmers, and I don't remember the game we played, but we played a game, and then my dad kept on yelling at me when I would yell, or I didn't yell, but I was like talking loud, and it was just fun because we were not being quiet.
We've been in here all of what? 11 seconds and you're already eating.
You unwrapped it. What was I supposed to do?
I wanted to make the noise right away. Chris said he saw a big buck 20 minutes ago.
That's awesome. My arm trail came out.
No, he must have saw it in person. Every time you do a calling sequence, you gotta sell it. And so at the end, you always gotta put the cherry on top. So just give it one little right at the end.
It feels like really good to to see a deer. Like, no matter what, if it's like a fawn or a doe or a buck, it's so fun to see.
You ever heard the term stuck in a rut? That's such a good visual, because if you imagine, like, sinking in the mud and the tires spin, and it's like you're trying and you're doing things, but you're not actually going anywhere. That's like working a job that you don't hate, or doing the same thing over and over and not seeing results. That's the beauty of what I find in nature and hunting, is you will never, ever figure it all out. And about the time you think you've got it figured out, what usually happens then? You blow it. You usually screw something up, right? And so I'm excited and I'm proud of you for, like, yesterday we didn't see any deer, but you're like, oh, still had fun. Yeah. And I know, for me, like, the reason why I went to, like, got a recurve bow, you know, my shoulder's a little bit weak, I'm not shooting it much now, but the idea is, I know when I was your age, everything was so fresh and new and exciting. And then I started shooting some deer, and then I started shooting some nice deer, and then I shot a couple of big bucks, and then pretty soon it was like the only thing that would excite me was shooting a big buck. I'd see a little 6-pointer, and like I'd kind of get disappointed, and I wouldn't pay any attention to it. And then finally one day, or I shouldn't say really one day, but over time it just matured to a point of like, okay, I shot enough big bucks now. That's not the answer to life's problems. It doesn't get any better than this right here. Just seeing things and learning. And who's the greatest country artist of all time that I listen to every day?
Oh,
Larry Fleet. And Larry Fleet calls it Treestand Talk. Is this right here? Is this time when we have our phones off? Like when you hear Grandpa's stories, he never talks about, oh yeah, and he stood there and he looked at me and I shot him, dropped him in his tracks. He never tells those stories, does he? And he shot 100 deer. He tells some crazy off-the-wall story about some dumb thing he did or some crazy thing that he saw. It's usually a lie. And so the only way that you'll ever make those memories is if you're out here doing it together and sharing it with other people. Like, that's as good as it gets. And then there's almost something like the anticipation, like just knowing as you get older, like I was telling Charli the other day, like one day, it might be 5 minutes from now, it might be 5 years from now, you're gonna see a deer coming at you and you're gonna be like, holy crap, I didn't really believe that those things actually existed. And you're gonna be like, and at that point you want it to be on autopilot and to just do everything naturally, right? And so it's one thing to set a crossbow up and shoot at a target, but it's a whole nother thing when you've got to be quiet and you're watching a deer as it happens. Like, you can't really practice that, you just got to do it.
I found it so enjoyable when they were all coming in because we didn't really see much at the beginning, I remember. So like it was fun to have some action go around. You'd like look to the side, there'd be deer like all over, and they were, I don't know how many there were, but there must have been like 5 or 6, and it was like really cool because they were all like close in by us, so you were just constantly looking at them and seeing what they were doing, and it was just fun because there was a little bit of entertainment. It's kind of scary because it's just like you're just there and you're like freeze, and I think it was cool, but then I was scared that if I like moved too much they would just like get away.
Sit in the stillness of nature long enough, and one slowly finds its rhythm. Like winnowing wheat, over time, even the softest of breezes ushers away the chaff of life. until only the most basic elements remain. These still moments in the blind often seem mundane and inconsequential, but I find them ever critical in our busy, often impersonal culture. I want my children to feel and experience the contrast of the restless modern world and the patient, effortless harmony of nature. Their ability to recognize the polarity between the two is certain to impact decisions they'll make for the rest of their lives.
I chose not to shoot the big doe because there were deer like all around us, and they were really close too, and I feel like that one was further away. So if I would try to pull out my crossbow, they were all like checking us out after like a while, like every minute or so. So if I were to put that up, I feel like one of them would have been looking and they would just run. I thought it was really cool because like that was like one of my first times going out hunting, and like there were so many deer out there, which that was a very good like first experience, you know. I liked it.
You can tell it's a fawn because the head is longer than the neck. On a doe, the neck is longer than the head. Those deer were on high alert. They would have seen, heard, or something, and it would have blown the whole thing out. So you were smart and not even trying, because it just wasn't going to work with all those eyeballs. You did the right thing.
My ideal doe would be in a lone one. I just don't really want to shoot one with fawns because I don't have the heart to do so. And also I feel like it'd be nice if you could only focus on one, because if there's others around, then you have to worry about them looking at you when you're getting up to shoot and whatnot, because they'll start running away, then they'll all run away. But I do like cooking animals. It's like really, it's a fun process to see. Like for squirrels, we hunt them not hunt them. We cook them in the house, like just in a pan, and then we made like this mashed potatoes with it, and we made a gravy and whatnot, and it was so good. It's just really cool that you get to hunt them and then you get to eat them too. Some people don't like that, but I think it's really fun, and it's really good to eat.
Look at that sunset. That's awesome. So pretty. It's things like that I don't know, it's more special when you're out in the field of an adventure rather than in a car or looking out the house windows. When you're actually like in it, it's more intimate, I guess. Pretty simple.
This one's got a bum leg. Usually only girls I could catch up with in high school, so maybe the right decoy for me. How do you resist that? You don't. We'll see how it works. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we gonna get her done tonight?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's not a very, wait, by the house, it's not a very good buck spot, you said?
No, not a great one, but there's been a doe that comes out there consistently, and if a doe comes out there, a buck could follow the doe. We could easily see a buck there, but I'd say we're more or less just trying to get a doe tonight.
My dad's guiding is so-and-so. Sometimes it's good because he'll put me in the good stands and we'll see a lot of stuff, or sometimes I'll just sit there and we will see like nothing. So, but most of the time it's good, but when it's bad, I like to let him know it's bad.
The deer are gonna be talking. They're gonna be like, did you guys see that doe up in the little field by the old house with the crooked tail and the lop ear? That's alright. Like, you wonder what goes on in their brains.
It's so ticklish when they're walking.
Like, do they really think?
No, they just move.
So your job is to, number one, shoot a deer, but number two, name the decoy. We got to come up with a name for her. Well, it's either it's a kind of a shim. It's like a he/she, so it fits right in with today's culture. Because we can put antlers. Right now it's a doe, but we can put we got antlers for it.
But you do?
So we got to give it a name like Pat or Terry or something.
Those are bad names.
Well, but it can be like a boy or a girl name.
His name is gonna be Charlie. Joking.
Charlie. Yeah, I guess you guys kind of have he/she names too, don't you?
His name is gonna be Frankie. Farley.
Farley. Okay, are you all set up?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, now shut up. Quiet. Shirley. That'd be good. Shirley could, I think, be a guy's name. Shirley, I like it. What do you think that is?
I don't know. I have terrible eyesight.
And so you think you're ready? I think it's time. I got a good feeling about time. He stared at that decoy. He's thinking, there's no Roy, that's a real deer. Well, I didn't want you to put you in a position where you might actually see a big buck until you gained a little bit of experience and made some of the simple mistakes.
You put me in a bad stand on purpose.
Pretty much. I put you in a dummy, what we call a dummy stand.
That is not okay.
What's on your plate is a reflection of your attitude. What you see from whatever blind or stand you get to hunt is a reflection of your attitude.
Exactly. Maybe if you chose a good stand, I'd be happy with it.
No, that's a back. That's a reverse, opposite order of the way it works.
Why would I be sad if I was in a good stand?
No. If you had a better attitude, I'd put you in a better stand.
That night we only saw like maybe 2 deer. I don't know, but I wasn't the happiest, obviously. So I kept on giving my dad some stuff for it, and I was roasting him. But I mean, he knows how to take a joke, so if he didn't, I would have got my phone taken away.
The Bible says
Turn the other cheek.
that a good father disciplines and chastens the ones that he loves. I love you, Frankie. I don't want to spoil you. So much of hunting is like a process of elimination. Right? I know this isn't a great spot, Well,
We have it on film.
but we've been seeing the same yearling here. You've seen her, I've seen her several times. So I thought, well, we'll give it a whirl. Be a perfect deer for you.
I understand why he did it now, but like at the time I really didn't. But I mean, that's like a good spot for just the does, and a buck wasn't really coming through there, which I mean, I feel like he was setting me up for a doe, which if you usually go to a stand just for anything, you see a lot more. But if you want to get something in specific, you got to kind of chase that specific thing if you want it. Actually, I feel like it was kind of a smart idea to just put me there, because there's usually does that just go through there, but you don't see many bucks.
As soon as you shoot a deer and then your hunting is over, that's kind of no fun too. But I guess that's kind of what we're here for, isn't it?
Exactly.
You'll appreciate it more the more time you put into it. It'll happen, maybe. Do your best. That's all you gotta do.
Having my dad as a guide, it's like everyone like in his videos, he's like this hunting guy. Everyone thinks he's like so like serious, but with us, he like goofs around with us, and we have good times. And like I don't know, he's almost like he has an inner child in him, and it's so much fun.
In the blind, I remember we had this. I know I've talked about this, but we had this hand warmer, and we were playing a game where we'd throw it up, and then I know it is. We were trying to get as close as we can to the ceiling, and I remember Dad threw it up, and it like bonked the top, and a ton of snow fell down, and then he's like.
And when I was hunting, we had this decoy, and I was like, Dad, you're making it face us. Like, that's like, you don't want to do that. And he's like, oh, my bad, I didn't realize that. And I was like,
you're a hunting Alaska guy.
But yeah, everyone like thinks he's this like serious hunting Alaska guide, and then he like goofs off with us a lot. Like we just do weird stuff.
He yells at me when I talk too much.
But he talks a lot too.
Yeah.
So.
Frankie. What time is it, Frankie?
Big buck time.
Yeah. Big dominant male in town now.
I bet those turkeys, we don't like turkeys react to owls.
Right.
Don't they like glow?
I would bet that owls swoop down and take little baby turkeys. I don't know why they wouldn't.
I don't know why they would.
Well, because they want to eat. A man's gotta eat and an owl's gotta eat.
I guess, but that's sad. Is there any way you can call them in?
We can try, I doubt it.
Yep. 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 Yep.
For my first buck.
Would you have shot him? He's on the trail of that doe fawn.
Gotta clear my throat. He's just like, wait, do you think I could have shot him if we saw him?
He was doing way too far away.
But he came in like right there.
Yeah, that's still way
I think it was fine. Like, I didn't really care that much at the time. I mean, obviously I did want to get one, but it was kind of just fun going out, but also sometimes it was really boring. But I feel like overall it was just it was a really fun time most of the time. And when you saw deer, it was so exciting because I mean, I didn't really see that many on some nights, so it'd be like if I saw one, I'd be like, oh damn, look. Next year I'm hoping as a bow hunter to try to be less yappy and more serious, so we actually maybe see some more deer. Maybe next year I'll shoot one, maybe with some fawns, but my dad said it's fine and everything, but I don't know. Maybe I'll see. I'm not sure yet.
We're hunting in a cow pasture where the deer like to bed, and there's a little ridge where they like to cross through, and there's a 10-pointer roaming around here, and we're going for her. I love bow hunting because I love watching them up close and watching them like come in and like to waiting for them to come close enough in bow range. So I think that's one of the reasons why I love bow hunting a lot. They could definitely smell us, like their noses were in the air. And I could tell like they were looking so much over there, like there has to be another one.
Right. Everything in nature happens for a reason. Playing his song.
It means a lot to have our dad like back, like, and not be going to Alaska. Like, he's never been here for my birthday besides like last year. And it was just really weird to like have him home during this time. And then like now it's, I don't really, like, I can't imagine him going away to Alaska now. Like, it's just like, I don't know how I did it.
Yeah, and like the beginning, he would never be there for the beginning of like the school year. So it definitely was like, it was like a weird feeling of like going to school for the first day with like him being home, and it's like, it definitely like felt weird, but then now it's like, wait, you're leaving for the weekend? It's like, what?
Yeah.
Thinking of him being gone for like the 100 days or like a month or two, just like at a time. And like now, like I don't even like remember him being gone that long.
Yeah, honestly.
Like, I don't know, because I guess we were just used to it.
And what did we even do?
I don't know. But when he's gone, we're for sure like, we get bored sometimes. Like, yeah. And you can tell our dogs miss him because they love going on walks and everything.
Thank you, Dad, for being outdoorsy and adventurous, and then putting that on us, and when we go out, teaching us little lessons, and just when we explore around or go on adventures.
Thank you, Dad, for always being a hard worker and like providing for the family, and knowing that you have to go away for such a long amount of time, and being like strong, and like he never complains about it, because that's just something like he knows that he loves to do, and he's like, that's his passion. And I love how I think he just loves also just like taking his passion and like us getting into it, it makes his day, and you can just tell. And me and Frankie are both starting to love it, and I think it's just like so cool that like we have that opportunity to be able to hunt. And I'm also just so thankful for my grandpa and great grandpa Bill that they had this land, and I'm just grateful that we get to have the opportunity to hunt on there with my dad. And just like knowing that my dad grew up on this land and he knows it by heart because he just grew up playing in there and exploring. If we didn't have that land and my family,
like where would we be now if we didn't have land? This wouldn't even be a thing.
Yeah, we're just so grateful to have that opportunity.
Did you shoot him yet, Charlie? What? Would you shoot him? Not that desperate yet.
As a boy, I was drawn to my grandfather's land. What was a few hundred acres, to me, was an endless wilderness. Each time I ventured further into it, the unsettled feeling of being lost or unsafe became more and more familiar. And eventually, one day, all fear was gone, and I realized I was free. Just like a doe and her fawn, every moment a parent spends with their children in the wilds is invaluable. From preparation to failures, from the taking of a life to innocent treestand talk, every moment spent in the field is quality time. The seasons of life come quickly, and the fawn will soon be off on its own. No boundaries, no fences, only freedom.